Hey, basketball fans, welcome back to Tips and Streams, your go-to spot for the hottest NBA regular season predictions. I'm Kokan, and I'm here to break down today's matchups and give you the edge you need to make the best bets. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. Your support means the world to us. Remember, our channel has no sponsors and relies solely on the love and support of viewers like you. Even a small donation by pressing the thanks button under the video helps us keep bringing you top-notch content every day. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and fellow basketball enthusiasts. And we love hearing from you, so drop a comment below and let us know what you want to see in our forecasts. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you the content you crave. Let's jump right into today's NBA predictions. We've got some exciting games lined up, so stay tuned and let's get that winning streak going. Today, we have predictions for 4 NBA games. The first prediction today is for the matchup between the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. Man, this series between the Knicks and Pistons has been a roller coaster, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. After watching New York steal Game 3 in Detroit 118-116, I gotta be honest, I still believe the Pistons are primed to bounce back and even things up. Look, the Knicks did what they had to do. They came out with crazy energy, hit Detroit in the mouth early, and then hung on for dear life. Karl-Anthony Towns came out torching, scoring 11 of his 31 points right out of the gate, and Jalen Brunson slammed the door late, dropping 12 of his 30 in the fourth quarter to keep the Pistons at arm's length. Full credit where it's due. But something about that game just screamed unsustainable to me. Detroit still showed a lot of guts clawing back from that halftime hole, and the way Cade Cunningham and Tim Hardaway Jr. fought to the final whistle tells me the squad isn't just going to roll over. Cade's 24 points and Timmy's bounce-back 24-piece were tough buckets, and Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench with 18 kept Detroit alive when it looked like New York might run them out of their own gym. The Pistons shot a solid 45.3% from the field and an impressive 43.2% from deep. It wasn't like they didn't have their chances. It just came down to execution and a few bad bounces late. Now, there's been a lot of noise about the Pistons dropping their 8th straight home playoff game dating back to 2008, but I'm not reading too much into that. Different era, different players, different vibe. What I see is a young, hungry Pistons group that just needs to clean up the sloppiness. 14 turnovers just won't cut it in the playoffs, especially against a Knicks squad that's opportunistic on D, racking up 11 steals and 7 blocks in Game 3. Take better care of the ball, and we're talking about a whole different ballgame. Isaiah Stewart's status is still a big swing factor. No doubt Detroit missed his physicality inside. Without him, New York was just a little too comfortable banging bodies and controlling momentum when it mattered. If Stewart can suit up and give even limited minutes, that alone could tilt the physical battle back in Detroit's favor. And look, I know Brunson is on a heater. 3 straight 30-point playoff games for the first time since Bernard King. Crazy. Towns is doing his thing, too. But let's be real. Asking the Knicks' entire starting 5 to keep dropping 20-plus each game isn't something you can bet the house on. That Game 3 performance was probably their best collective punch, and Detroit still had a shot to steal it late. Plus, road teams historically don't sweep back-to-back in hostile playoff environments unless they're clearly the better team. The Knicks have played it close to the sun all series, barely edging 2 out of 3 games. One slip, one bad shooting night from beyond the arc, they hit 37.5% in Game 3, or one off night from Towns or Brunson, and Detroit's young guns are ready to pounce. The Pistons have covered spreads against Atlantic Division teams in 13 straight as favorites. And let's not forget, the Knicks historically struggle after playoff wins on the road against Eastern Conference squads. I expect Detroit to come out desperate, flying around, using the Little Caesars Arena crowd as rocket fuel and throwing the kitchen sink at New York. Cade's gonna need to put up an even bigger night. Tobias Harris can't hide again, and the defense has to blitz Brunson and make somebody else beat them. At the end of the day, I'm sticking to my guns. I've been on the Pistons all series long, and I'm not jumping off the wagon now. Give me the Pistons to hold home court, tie this bad boy up 2-2, and turn this into an all-out war heading back to MSG. My final pick, Pistons win this game.
Welcome to BetUS, Sportsbook and Casino. your ultimate hub for secure and thrilling sports betting and casino gaming. BetUS is one of the oldest and most reliable online sportsbooks in the U.S., serving millions of clients all over the globe each month. BetUS, trusted for over 30 years, offers huge welcome bonuses, countless betting options, and many deposit and payout methods. Depositing funds is a breeze and safe, with a minimum deposit of just $10. Payouts are fast and hassle-free, beginning at only $50. Choose from various payout options like MoneyGram, couriered check, cryptocurrency, or bank wire. Signing up is quick and easy. For signing up, you can use the link in the description and enjoy a generous 125% welcome bonus of up to $3,000. By signing up using the link in the description, you'll also support us as we earn a small commission from your registration at BetUS. Thank you for supporting us. Join now and start winning.
The second prediction today is for the matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Man, this Lakers-Timberwolves series has been nothing short of a battle so far. But I gotta say, after watching how things unfolded in Game 3, I'm riding with the Timberwolves all the way in Game 4, especially to cover the minus 15.5 spread. Look, Minnesota's been flexing their muscle all series long. After taking the opener on the road, they showed up again in front of their home fans, closing out Game 3 like a team that knows exactly who they are. That 13-1 run down the stretch, that wasn't by accident. That was a squad smelling blood and going for the throat. The Lakers have been scrapping, no doubt, and you gotta tip your hat to LeBron James. The man's 40 years old and still dropped 38 points and 10 boards like he's back in his Miami Heat prime. But the problem for LA is the same as it's been all year, outside of Bron and sometimes Luka Doncic, who's really stepping up. Austin Reeves chipped in with a respectable 20 points, but after that, it's a ghost town. Rui Hachimura, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt. It's just a lot of standing around and watching Bron go hero mode. That's not going to cut it against a deep, nasty Timberwolves group. Jaden McDaniels absolutely balled out in Game 3. 30 points and locked up Luka for most of the night. Come on, that's big-time stuff. And then you've got Anthony Edwards, who just keeps growing into a playoff monster right before our eyes. Ant went to work in crunch time, attacking Luka, draining threes, slicing past Bron, and handling double teams without flinching. That's what separates good young players from true stars in the making. You could just feel it. Once Ant took over, the Lakers had no answers. Now sure, Rudy Gobert was basically invisible in Game 3, 1 point, and 3 rebounds is brutal, but the scary part for LA is that Minnesota didn't even need him. Naz Reid barely played because of foul trouble and still buried a clutch 888 that cracked the game open. When you've got role players like that stepping up on command, it tells you everything you need to know about the Wolves' depth. Also, those Lakers turnovers, man, they're killing themselves. 16 giveaways in Game 3. You cannot gift extra possessions to a team like Minnesota and expect to survive. I don't care if you're shooting lights out from deep like the Lakers did early in Game 3. If you keep coughing up the ball, eventually the dam's gonna break, and it did. History says it too. This season, the home team between these two has straight up on the matchup. 6 out of 7 meetings, home squad takes the W. Plus, the team that wins the game covers the spread every time. That's no coincidence. It's a sign of who's imposing their will. Honestly, unless Luka Doncic wakes up from whatever the stomach bug nightmare is and drops 40 plus, I just don't see how the Lakers hang. Luka wasn't himself in Game 3, 17 points on 6, 4. 16 shooting is not Luka Doncic basketball. And even if he bounces back some, the rest of the Lakers supporting cast is just too inconsistent. It feels like Bron and Luka have to be perfect just for LA to be in the conversation, while the Wolves are rolling deep and dangerous even when their stars have off nights. Minnesota's clicking at just the right time. Winners of 19 of their last 24 games, and smelling blood with a chance to take a 3-1 stranglehold. I expect Ant to keep pushing the pace, McDaniels to stay hot, and the Wolves' defense to suffocate the Lakers' secondary guys early. If LA falls behind by double digits again, it's curtains. I don't see the Lakers having another gear to shift into. Give me the Timberwolves, and I'm not blinking. Lay the points. Minnesota covers the minus 15.5 spread, punches the Lakers in the mouth early, and doesn't look back. My final pick, Timberwolves win and cover big. Before we move on, I have a quick favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Subscribing might seem like a small action, but it actually makes a big impact for us. Plus, it's completely free for you. Have you clicked that subscribe button? Awesome, thank you so much for your support. Now let's dive back into the video. The third prediction today is for the matchup between the Boston Celtics and the Orlando Magic. Man, this series between the Celtics and Magic has been way more interesting than I thought it would be when it started. After Orlando pulled out that gritty Game 3 win at home, 95-93, I'm telling you, they've made me a believer, at least when it comes to fighting tooth and nail. I'm not saying Orlando's about to pull the series upset, but there's no way I'm laying 8 points with Boston here. Nah, give me the Magic to cover and keep this a street fight. Orlando's playing with serious heart. They had no business hanging with Boston on paper. Celtics are loaded even with a couple of banged-up bodies, but here they are, stealing one and breathing real life into the series. Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero have been absolute dogs. They're not backing down from the moment, and they're carrying the squad with some serious poise. Wagner's slashing game off the dribble gave the Celtics fits, and Banchero's just been a grown man every night. Without those two, Orlando wouldn't have a prayer. But with them, man, they're dangerous, especially in their building. And speaking of their building, this home court edge for Orlando is real. That place was buzzing in Game 3, and you could feel Boston getting uncomfortable once things got tight late. Even when Tatum came back and went off for 36 points, the Celtics couldn't pull away. And let's be honest, Boston hasn't exactly looked like a well-oiled machine. The injury bug is biting them at the worst time. Tatum missed Game 2, Drew Holiday sat out Game 3, and Jaylen Brown's knee is clearly bothering him. That's a lot of firepower either missing or not at full throttle. Boston's offense just hasn't been the same. In Game 3, they managed only 9 made threes on 27 attempts, way below their usual standard. Porzingis hasn't been a consistent factor, and when it turns into the Tatum show, with everyone else standing around, the Celtics look beatable. They're still the more talented team by a mile, but playoff basketball is about grinding, and Orlando is dragging them into the mud. Don't get me wrong, I expect Boston to punch back here. They're too good, too experienced, and too proud to drop 2 straight to an upstart like Orlando. But 8 points? That's a mountain in a game that's going to feel like every possession is worth its weight in gold. The Magic showed they can clamp down on Boston's perimeter shooters, and the slower playoff tempo only plays into their hands. Also, let's not overlook Cole Anthony's impact. Dude was a spark plug off the bench in Game 3, swinging momentum when Orlando's offense started to stall. If he keeps attacking and hitting shots, that's one more headache Boston's thin rotation has to deal with. Plus, with Suggs and Moritz Wagner still out for Orlando, they've had no choice but to tighten the rotation and dig in even harder, and sometimes that breeds better chemistry and tougher defense. Sure, the Celtics are the big dogs, and sure, they're going to come out swinging. I expect more efficient offense from Boston. They're not going to brick as many open looks 2 games in a row. But I also expect Orlando to stand tall, throw counters, and keep this thing ugly just long enough to stay inside the number. Bottom line, the Magic don't have to win this game to cash the ticket. They just have to stay scrappy, ride their home crowd, and keep the Celtics from blowing the roof off early. I think they'll do exactly that. Final call. Magic cover the +8 spread, keep this series spicy, and head back to Boston with a real shot to turn this into a war. The fourth prediction today is for the matchup between the Indiana Pacers and the Milwaukee Bucks. Man, just when folks were starting to bury the Bucks after those first 2 ugly games, they came out in Game 3 and made a serious statement. That 117-101 win wasn't just about survival, it was about sending a message. Giannis Antetokounmpo looked like a man on a mission, dropping a casual 37-piece with 12 boards, and Gary Trent Jr. absolutely caught fire, splashing 9 threes en route to his own 37-point explosion. That's the kind of swagger and firepower Milwaukee was missing early in the series. And I'm telling you right now, heading into Game 4, I'm all in on the Bucks to win and cover the small chalk. The way Milwaukee flipped the script defensively was huge. Tyrese Halliburton still got his double-double, 14 points and 10 assists, but it didn't come easy. The Bucks turned up the physicality, ran him off his spots, and really made the Pacers grind for every look. Outside of Pascal Siakam, who's been steady with 28 points, Indiana looked rattled. Aaron Nesmith and Obi Toppin chipped in a little, but when Miles Turner is being held to 6 points in a playoff game, that's a red flag if you're backing Indy. And look, it's great that Trent Jr. went nuclear, but let's be real, Milwaukee can't expect that every night. That's where Damian Lillard comes in. Dame was flat out bad again in Game 3, 2, 4, 12 shooting, and just 1, 4, 8 from deep. But here's the thing, even without his A game, Milwaukee still pulled away comfortably. If Dame finds even a sliver of rhythm in Game 4, this could get ugly quick for Indiana. You can just feel the momentum swinging. Milwaukee's been deadly at home all year, and the Pacers, they've been a different animal away from Indiana. Remember, they started the season brutal on the road, and even after stabilizing a little, the pattern has held. In Milwaukee, they just don't get it done. They're now 0-4 against the spread at Fiserv Forum recently, and the Bucks just seem to have their number when it matters. Plus, the Pacers looked a step slow in Game 3. They weren't attacking the rim nearly as much, only 13 free throw attempts all night. That's not playoff basketball, that's playing not to lose. You could see it. When Milwaukee punched them in the mouth, Indiana didn't have that second gear. They lived and died by jumpers, and that's not a formula for stealing road playoff wins. Now, if you're clinging to hope that Halliburton and Siakam can carry the load again, you're banking on near perfection. Because Milwaukee's defense looked locked in, Giannis is locked in, and with their backs still against the wall, the Bucks are going to keep swinging. Expect Bobby Portis to bring even more physicality, and if Lillard heats up even a little, Indiana's going to be in serious trouble. Also, let's not sleep on the mental side of this. Milwaukee's veterans have been through these wars before. They know how to seize momentum and squeeze the life out of a younger, less playoff-tested team. Indiana's got talent, but you could see the frustration creeping in after Game 3. That body language tells you a lot. I had Milwaukee winning this series before it tipped, and after seeing them respond the way they did, I'm not jumping ship now. The Bucks smell blood, and they know the importance of not going back to Indiana down 3-1. They want to even this thing up and turn it into a best of 3, and they're going to play like it. Final call. Milwaukee Bucks win and cover the 3.5-point spread, evening the series and setting up a monster Game 5.